Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Times Now and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, what's the difference between a consensual relationship going sour and rape? Well, the Supreme Court has made very strong verbal observations on premarital relationships. We are going to put that out on your screens. There you have it behind me. Justice Nagaratna has observed, and I quote her here, "Maybe we are old-fashioned, but before marriage, a boy and a girl are strangers to each other. We fail to understand how they can be in a physical relationship even before they marry." Now, this statement has sparked off a massive debate in India. Are rape laws being misused by women in consensual relationships which have now ended? Are men using false promises of marriage to entrap women? If the relationship ends, will it be a case of rape? Well, tonight, we are going to be discussing this in the context of the case in the Supreme Court, where a man allegedly promised to marry a woman, had intimate relationships with her based on this promise, and then didn't marry her. So let's start at the beginning. What began as a matrimonial match has now snowballed into a courtroom battle. Let's give you all the charges which have been leveled by the woman against this man, and they go all the way back to 2022. The two of them met on a matrimonial site, a matrimonial website. There was a promise of marriage which was allegedly made by the man. What follows is a relationship spanning across Delhi and then in Dubai as well. But 19th of January 2024, this is the day it turned out to be the real turning point in the relationship, when the woman claims that she discovered that the man had married for a second time in Punjab this time around, while he was still in a relationship with her and promised to marry her. After which she goes, files an FIR. There are a series of charges which have been leveled against the man, that of rape and several others. After which the man was denied bail. First, he was denied bail by the lower courts, then by the Delhi High Court, and then in November 2025, the Delhi High Court made a very sharp observation while denying him bail, saying that he had made a false promise to marry, and it appears false from the very beginning of the relationship, when he was already married and was intending to marry again, and yet these false marriage promises were made by the man. So he never had the intent to marry the girl. Well, this matter then reached the Supreme Court yesterday. Here the bench cautioned against premarital relationships between strangers and even urged caution. So this man, even as we speak, is currently in Tihar jail since 2024 at that. And his plea is going to come up again in the Supreme Court tomorrow. So what really are the charges that this man faces? Now remember, the alleged crime was filed under IPC in 2024 when we did not have the BNS in place. So this man is accused of rape in the name and rather on the false promise of marriage. Without the complainant complaining, now consent was obtained, she said, with deception. Consent to a physical relationship was all based on deception, is what the lady claims. Well, this man is also facing charges of cheating, allegedly hiding his existing marriage on a matrimonial website to draw her, to lure her into a physical relationship. Well, the woman also claims that he secretly recorded their intimate videos when they had gone to Dubai without her knowledge, which is an offense linked to voyeurism. Well, there's also a charge of criminal intimidation. She says that he has threatened to leak these intimate videos of theirs if she resisted him or complained against him. And finally, the charge of bigamy. Because viewers, this is an extremely important case, because while assuring her of marriage, the man allegedly made these false promises. The accused in this case allegedly went ahead and married another woman in January 2024. In fact, this was his second marriage. From deception to secret recordings to threats and to case now stands at the intersection of trust, betrayal and criminal law. In fact, let's now quickly move on to some big breaking news which is coming in.